Okay, so this video is about power bricks. Many of you may know that the new devices coming from Apple are not going to be including power bricks, such as probably the new iPhone, the new Apple Watches won't. Basically, a lot of their devices are not going to include power bricks anymore. Now, if you're wondering what this is right here, we are looking at the 5-watt Apple brick from when they were first shipping iPhones, I believe. This is the, I believe, 5 or 9 watt 3 amp variable charger for the iPad Pro, which is USB-C. This is USB Type A, and then Apple decided that the iPad needed USB-C so they could reach their higher wattage and voltage and amperage. This is the iPad brick for the iPads, not the Pros. This is a 12-watt brick. I don't recall the amperage. And then Anker decided to say, hey, Apple, if you're not going to sell that with a brick anymore, then people can buy ours. This is the IQ3 by Anker. This thing puts out, I believe it's 20 watts of power, and is absolutely phenomenal. And you can actually read what's on it too. So this is the PowerPort 3 Nano that puts out more power than this thing does, and at faster speeds. This is a USB Type A, this is a USB Type C. You can tell the difference. One is oval, one is rectangular. So this thing supposedly can put out, I believe it's 20 watts, and it can do so, it looks like a relatively high amperage, about 3 amps, and can charge all kinds of the new devices. I'm going to be using it specifically today to be charging my GoPro. So let's dig in for a moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull this brick out first. This is a 5-watt brick maximum, and I think it's like 1 amp. So I'm going to plug this into my iPad, and we're going to see how much wattage it pulls after I put it on the right setting. So that's wattage. I'm going to plug this in, and this should spike it to as high as it can go, which I think is 5 watts. So I'm going to load up a game on my iPad just to verify, and we'll see. So just so you can see that I'm doing it on my iPad, here's my iPad, and it is a Pro. So let's focus in right there. So right now it's pulling at its maximum 6.2 amps to try to charge the iPad. I mean, I'm sorry, 6.2 watts. That's the maximum it can charge at, and it is going to trickle charge at that wattage. My iPad brick for the original iPad, or I should say for the iPad that I have. So that's volts. Okay, there's wattage again. I don't know why that's so hard to see. Let me switch outlets, because apparently that's not in enough light. Okay, wattage. So 0.0. So let's go ahead and plug it in. And 8.3. So it's not pulling the full, but I'm going to go ahead and launch a game on my iPad. I know this thing can pull 12 because that's what it says on it, but that's also theoretical, I believe. Interesting. Okay, well, that's at 8.3. What I can try now is switching from USB Type A at this and going to its actual brick, which is a USB-C. So let's pull that. And we're going to pull the USB-C. And I have a different kind of charger cable for this. It's a different than Apple charger. So I'll plug this in, and we'll see how much wattage it pulls. Okay, I just plugged it in. Yeah, see, there it goes. It just jumped to 16. Oh wow, 18.9. So right now this brick is pushing 18.9 watts. So you can tell the jump from that. So this brick might actually not be 100% good, but you can tell that it's got a massive draw. So switching from that, so this is supposed to be, I think, a 20-watt charger, and it's darn near close. So last thing we're gonna do is plug in this Anker 20-watt and see what it does. Oh, look at that, we just passed 20, 21. So at absolute peak it hit 21 watts. So this little charger that is much smaller than Apple's charger is pulling 21 watts of power. Now one thing I do want to do is plug this into my GoPro and see how much power it pulls, because that's what I mainly bought it for. So here we go. Pulling a mere 5.2 watts. That's a lot less than the iPad. So this little guy, this little power plug, is capable of pulling a good amount of wattage for portable devices. If I plug this into my iPhone, it would probably charge way fast. I don't use fast chargers that much on my iPhone for high ones like this, but that was a pretty decent pull compared to all of these different chargers. I mean, having one charger that is the size of Apple's original and still able to pull 3 to 4 times as much wattage is insane. It's amazing, and I really wish they could that Apple could squeeze it down to the same size, but they just decided in general, let's just not even give them a power cord. So that's what you get for a $20 charging brick from Anker. In my book, that's pretty darn impressive. I mean, so many years ago we started out with these 5-watt 1-amp chargers for iPhone, and then Apple introduced the iPad chargers that were actually only 5-watt. Then they upped them to 12 because they needed more juice, and now that the Pros are out, they've upped it to 20 or 18.9, I think it was the top, I can't remember now, but that much charging, and now they've shrunk it down to that size for Anker stuff, and they're able to push out that much juice in a small form factor. That's amazing. And I did buy another one, and I wanted to actually unbox it just to show you what's inside of it and go from there. Okay, so this is what the packaging comes in. We're going to go ahead and get it opened up after we investigate what it says on it. So, choice of 50 million happy users. I'm guessing that's across their product lines. Fast charging technology. And it's got an 18-month hassle-free warranty, because Anker products are amazing. I've got their backup batteries and everything, and it's just insanely awesome. Mine is the, I believe, the 26,400 milliamp ones. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's in the actual box. So we got a little pull tab here, and right off the bat we have happy and how to use it, I'm guessing, which is in its own little wrapper. You'll notice if this has any valid information in it, but it's got a happy, not happy kind of thing in it. It's a card that basically says, hey, if you need advice on this, let us know, and we'll help you. Or you can share your experience on Amazon, and I always say positive things about these because they're usually really good. You've got the user manual, which is in all kinds of different languages. And it actually suggests using an M5 certified lightning adapter if you're going to use it on an iPhone. It shows you what you can connect up to it and how to. And yeah, that's about it for the paperwork. And frustration-free packaging, and it comes in a little wrap. So there it is. Another USB-C power brick that is very small, very powerful, and can handle a lot of juice. And it says on here this is a 5 volt 3 amp or a 9 volt 2.22 amp output. So it's got a ton of output on it. And it's nice, rigid. I don't see any lines for the most part. It's durable, and I bet I could probably like chuck this across the room and not hurt it whatsoever. So very nice, very clean. Good job, Anker. This is the IQ Power 3, or I should say the Power Port 3 Nano. Says it right there. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Now go buy some Anker stuff, and this is not a sponsored video.